Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here today. We're going to talk about something that almost everyone over a certain age just accepts as a fact of life, and I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to be that way. I'm talking about presbyopia, or as most of us call it, needing reading glasses. So many of my patients come in and say, "Doc, I'm over 50. My eyes are just going to go, right, I'm going to need thicker and thicker glasses forever." That's just the way it is. They think it's like rust on a car or tread wearing off a tire, inevitable, nothing to be done, just the natural order of things. But what if I told you that your presbyopia, your aging eyes, has very little to do with old and a whole lot to do with something else entirely? Would you believe me, or would you think I'm just another doctor trying to sell you something? I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest misunderstandings we've had in modern healthcare for decades. Here's what conventional medicine tells you. You go to your eye doctor, they do the exam. They point to their equipment and they say, look, your lens is hardening, it's degenerating, it's age related, that's just what happens. And then they hand you a pair of reading glasses. You put them on, you can see again, and you think, great, problem solved, except it's not solved at all. Not even close. Think about this 2 years later. You go back to that same doctor. Why? Because your current readers aren't strong enough anymore. You need a new pair. Then another 2 years, another pair, and another. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why do your glasses keep getting stronger and stronger? Why has nobody ever told you that this is a road that never ends, that there's no finish line, no point where you say, okay, I'm done. This is my final prescription. Let me give you a picture. Imagine a light bulb in your living room that's getting dimmer. Instead of checking the wiring, instead of checking the voltage, instead of looking at the power source, you just hold a magnifying glass in front of the bulb. Does that make the room brighter? The filament is still burning out. The voltage is still dropping, and eventually that bulb burns out completely and the whole room goes dark. You never fix the problem, you just put a band-aid on it. That's exactly what conventional treat the symptom medicine is doing here. The moment you put on those reading glasses, you are telling your eyes you don't need to work anymore. You can clock out, I've hired a replacement. Your eyes, those amazing little muscles that are designed to flex, adjust, and focus, they see that cane you just handed them and they start slacking off. And once they start slacking, their function declines faster and faster. The more you rely on that little piece of glass. The weaker your eye's natural accommodation system becomes, it's a vicious cycle, a downward spiral that gets steeper with every step. You're not helping your eyes, you're essentially putting them on an early retirement plan, and they're taking it. So here's the truth I want you to hear today. Presbyopia is not your eye's parts breaking down. It's a power supply problem. Something is stealing the energy your eyes need to function, and that thief, more often than not, is us, our own misconceptions, our own habits, decades of living in a way that slowly drains our system. We've been told the wrong story, and we've been living it out without ever questioning it. I've been practicing medicine for over a decade here in the US, and I've seen this scenario play out over and over again. Patients in their early 50s, some even in their early 40s, they look sharp, they dress well, they're put together, they walk into my office looking like they have everything under control. But the moment they're put on the spot, the mask slips. Have you ever felt like this? You're trying to read the fine print on a prescription bottle at the pharmacy and you have to stretch your arm all the way out, squinting like you're threading a needle, and you still can't make it out. You're at a restaurant with friends or family, and instead of enjoying the evening and the conversation, you're panicking because you can't read the menu. You have to pretend you're still deciding, or you ask your spouse to order for you, and you feel that little sting of embarrassment, or it's the middle of the night. You wake up to use the bathroom and you're fumbling around in the dark, patting the nightstand, swearing under your breath because you can't find your glasses, and you're standing there in the dark feeling that knot of anxiety in your stomach. Which way is the bathroom? Which way is the door? Am I going to trip over something? That moment of disorientation, that feeling of vulnerability, that feeling of helplessness, that feeling of I'm not in control anymore. Are we really supposed to just shrug our shoulders and say, well, I guess I'm old. I guess this is just my life now. I don't buy that. I've seen too many people turn this around to believe that that's not aging. That's an early warning sign, a signal that your energy is running low. Aging and decline are not the same thing. Aging is the passage of time. Decline is the depletion of your reserves. We cannot stop time, that's a fact, but we absolutely can stop our bodies from running out of fuel ahead of schedule. We can stop letting our energy leak out through 100 small cracks in our daily lives. Now, let's look at this from a different lens. In traditional medicine, we talk a lot about qi and blood. For your eyes to see clearly, they need yang energy, the active, warming, upward moving energy in your body. Think of your body like a pressure cooker. If the steam vent is blocked or if the fire underneath is too low, the pressure can't build up that little valve on top. Your eyes can't move. It's stuck. That lid just sits there heavy and frozen and nothing moves. The steam that's supposed to push it up and give it flexibility, it's just not there. Here's the thing that the glasses industry doesn't want you to know. They tell you it's normal aging because it's good for business. I'm not saying there's a conspiracy. I'm saying it's a massive multi-billion-dollar industry. It's a market that grows every single year. As the population gets older, there's no financial incentive for them to tell you, hey, you might not actually need these forever. But today I'm telling you it is not normal. It is not normal. It is not inevitable. And the real key to turning it around, it's not inexpensive supplements. It's not on a hospital operating table. It is right here in your own body every single day, and it costs you absolutely nothing. $0, zero copays, zero insurance claims. Once you understand the principle behind it, even if you're already wearing reading glasses, I can show you a path to potentially reducing your dependence on them and maybe, just maybe putting them away for good. So if your eyes aren't broken, then who or what is cutting the power? What's the physics behind it? What's actually going on under the surface? Here's where it gets really fascinating. Right on the very top of your head, there's a spot that most of us have completely ignored for years. I like to call it the energy gateway. In traditional medicine, it's known as the 100 meetings point. 100 because it's where so many energy channels converge, and meetings because it's a central hub where everything comes together and gets redistributed. It's a major point on what's called the governing vessel, which is the main energy highway that runs up your spine, over your head, and down your face. This is the point where all the yang energy of your body gathers, and from there it gets redistributed to every other part of your body. Ancient texts call it the meeting of all yang channels. There's no other point in the body quite like it. It's the grand central station of your body's energy system. Now, I know some of you are thinking, Doc, my eyes are in the front of my face. This spot is on the top of my head. How on earth are they connected? And that's exactly the beauty of a whole body approach. We don't treat the part in isolation. We don't just look at the symptom and say, here's a pill for that. We look at the entire system. We look at the whole person, how you sleep, how you eat, how you move, how you handle stress. That's the difference between Band-Aid medicine and root cause medicine. Let me give you a picture. Imagine your body is an old fortified castle. Your head is the highest tower, the watchtower. Your eyes are the two most powerful, most energy-hungry searchlights mounted on the castle walls. Now, for those searchlights to shine far and bright, what's the most important thing? Is it cleaning the glass? Is it polishing the lenses? It's the power supply. You could have the cleanest glass in the world, but without electricity, you have nothing but darkness. Those searchlights are useless without a steady, strong current flowing to them. That electricity in this framework is your qi, your blood, and your yang energy. As we get older, or if we live a lifestyle that drains us, staying up too late, eating too much cold or iced food, drinking too many iced beverages, sitting too much, stressing too much, our internal fire, our yang energy gradually fades. The pump, your heart weakens, and it can't push the energy and blood upward as efficiently. The top floors don't get enough voltage, so the searchlights dim, the light gets weaker, the focus gets blurrier, and we start reaching for glasses instead of asking why the power dropped in the first place, and that is one of the most fundamental root causes of presbyopia. There's an ancient saying, when the clear yang doesn't rise, the turbid yin cannot descend. The good nourishing energy doesn't make it up to your head, and the metabolic waste, the stuff your body needs to clear out, gets stuck in the middle. It gets clogged up in your system. So of course your eyes aren't happy. They're not getting what they need, and they're drowning in what they don't need. When we stimulate that point on the top of your head, it's like walking up to the main circuit breaker of that entire castle and flipping it back on. One tap, one gentle stimulation, and you're sending a signal to your whole body, all hands on deck. Send the troops, send the chi and blood up to the watchtower stat, and that's just the first layer. That's just the beginning. Stimulating this point also pulls from the essence of your internal organs. Your heart governs your spirit, and the brightness of your eyes reflects your heart's energy. Your spleen transforms the food you eat into energy and sends it upward to your eyes. Your liver stores blood, and your kidneys store your deepest reserves, your foundational energy. So your presbyopia is not just about your eyes. It's a signal that your liver, your kidneys, your heart, your spleen, all of them, may be running on empty or running inefficiently, and this one point on your head is the master switch that can influence all of those systems at once. Ancient texts like the Great Compendium of Acupuncture and Moxibustion listed this point for conditions like headache, dizziness, and ringing in the ears they knew centuries ago. That problems in the head and eyes could be addressed from this single central hub. They didn't have MRI machines or laser surgery, but they understood the flow of energy in the body better than most of us do today. Okay, so we've covered the theory, we've covered the philosophy, but theory alone doesn't fix anything, right? Philosophy doesn't clear your vision. We need action. We need results. Let me tell you about a patient of mine now. I know some of you are still skeptical, and I love that. I really do, especially my science-minded friends, my engineers, my data analysts, my show me the study people. You're thinking, just tapping my head, no pills, no surgery. How is that going to soften a hardened lens? How is that going to reverse presbyopia? That doesn't make sense physically. That defies the laws of physics. And you know what? That's a fair question. That's a good, healthy skepticism. I respect that. And my answer to you is this. Let's not argue about it. Let the results speak for themselves. Medicine isn't about theories, it's about outcomes. It's about what actually works for real people in the real world. I don't need you to believe me. I just need you to try it with an open mind and see what happens. Back when I was practicing in Florida, I met a patient I'll never forget. Let's call him Mr. Lee. He was 65 years old, a recently retired bridge engineer. Now, if you know engineers, you know they're meticulous, they're detail-oriented, they're skeptical of anything that can't be measured. No data, no truth. That was practically his motto. He didn't believe anything without hard numbers and reproducible results. When he came to see me, his face was tight, and his eyebrows were furrowed so deep you could have balanced a pencil in the creases. He was not a happy man. He sat down and unloaded on me. He said, "Doc, you know what I was most proud of my whole career? My eyes, that was my gift. I could look at a blueprint and spot a 1,000th of an inch error without even squinting. My eyes were my most valuable tool. They were my identity." Then he reached into his bag and pulled out not one but two pairs of reading glasses, and he slammed them down on my desk. "Thump, two loud, angry thuds," he said. Now I'm looking at blueprints and it's like looking through fog. I try to read a story to my grandson, and if I hold the book close, I can't focus. If I hold it far, the letters are too small, nothing works, and you know what really breaks my heart? The other day I was holding my 1-year-old grandson, and I realized if I didn't have my glasses on, I couldn't even tell if he was crying or laughing. I couldn't see his little face clearly. That was the moment I knew something had to change. Folks, can you imagine that for a man whose entire identity was built on his sharp vision? That was devastating. It wasn't just an inconvenience, it was a blow to his dignity. It was a loss of something he had always taken for granted. The examination showed his presbyopia was close to 400 degrees. Conventional medicine had told him his only option was glasses, and that his prescription would only get stronger over time, period. End of story. No hope, no alternatives. He sat there in front of me completely deflated, like a balloon with all the air let out. Like had just been told his career was over and his body had betrayed him. I didn't rush to write a prescription. I didn't give him a long, complicated speech full of medical jargon. I didn't hand him a brochure for expensive supplements. I just looked him in the eye very calmly and said, "Mr. Lee, your eyes are not broken. Your pump is weak. The power supply is failing. Let me show you how to strengthen that pump. You can do it yourself at home, and it won't cost you a dime. No copay, no prescription, no insurance approval needed." And I taught him the tapping routine I'm about to teach you. What do you think his reaction was? Pure skepticism. He looked at me like I just suggested he could fix a broken bridge with a roll of duct tape. His eyes said, "That's it, that's your big solution." I spent my whole career building bridges. I know structural mechanics, I know physics, and you're telling me tapping my head is going to fix my eyes. That doesn't pass the laugh test. I said, "You're an engineer, you love experiments, you love data, so here's your experiment. Give me 2 months, morning and night, 1 minute each. Treat it like a project. Track your progress. If it doesn't work, you can come back and tell me I'm full of it. You can stand in this office and say, 'I told you so,' fair enough," because he was an engineer, skeptical but disciplined. Once he accepted a task, he gave it his all. He couldn't do anything halfway. He told me later that he treated it like a work assignment, like a critical project with a deadline every morning, first thing every night, last thing, rain or shine. Even when he traveled with his family, he did it in the hotel room. It became as automatic as brushing his teeth. He didn't miss a single day. 2 months later, I was in the middle of a patient visit and the door swung open. Mr. Lee walked in and he wasn't wearing his glasses. He didn't have them on his face. He didn't have them in his pocket. Before I could even say hello, he reached into his briefcase, pulled out that day's newspaper, unfolded it with a big whap pointed to the smallest stock quote numbers in the financial section. The tiniest print you can find in any newspaper, and read them out loud, clear as a bell, one number after another perfectly. Then he looked up at me with this enormous grin on his face. I'll never forget that smile. There was pride in it, relief, and pure, unadulterated joy. It was the smile of a man who had gotten something back that he thought had lost forever. He said, I can see, really see. I haven't been able to read a newspaper like this in decades. I used to get so angry every morning, hunting for my reading glasses, muttering under my breath. Now I just pick it up and go, I feel like myself again. I tell you, I was more thrilled than he was. I was practically jumping up and down inside because it proved once again that the wisdom our ancestors passed down is real. It's not superstition. It's not magic. It's advanced physics, the physics of how energy moves through the human body. Mr. Lee didn't get new parts. He didn't have surgery. He didn't take a single pill. He just tapped that point consistently for 2 months. And in doing so, he woke up the yang energy that had been sleeping in his body. He cleared the clogged pathways, the blocked channels. He turned the power back on. And when the chi and blood flowed up to his head again, his eyes, those little light bulbs, lit right back up. They were never broken. They were just starved. So are you feeling a little inspired right now? Is there a part of you that wants to take those annoying reading glasses and toss them in the drawer? Do you want to be able to read a menu at a restaurant without stress, pick up a book at home without hunting for your glasses, and hold your grandchild or your child and see every little expression on their face, crystal clear without anything getting in the way? But folks, here's the thing, method matters. Doing it wrong is a waste of your time and can even make things worse. I've seen people go home, whack themselves on the head too hard, get dizzy, get headaches, see stars, and then complain that this doesn't work. That's not the method failing. That's the method being done incorrectly. That's user error. And I will never let you do that on my watch. I want you to succeed, not hurt yourself. So sit up straight, roll your shoulders back, take a breath. I'm going to walk you through this step by step in excruciating detail, and I strongly encourage you to follow along with your hands right now. It's much easier to learn when you're doing it, not just listening to it. I'm going to give you 4 steps. I call them the 4 foundations: location, hand position, force, and timing. They are all essential. Miss one, and you're not getting the full benefit. Step 1, location. This is the foundation. If you can't find the point, you're just tapping randomly and you'll get random results. You're shooting in the dark. So let's find it right now. Take your hands and with your index fingers, touch the very top of each ear, the tips of your ears, the highest point. Now draw an imaginary line straight up over the crown of your head. Then from the bridge of your nose, right between your eyebrows, draw another imaginary line straight up and over the top of your head, heading toward the back where those 2 lines cross, right there in the center of your crown. The very top, that's your point. If you press gently with your fingertip, you'll often feel a slight soft depression there, like a little dimple or a small indentation. And when you press it, you might feel a mild, dull, achy sensation. That's a good sign. That's your chi responding. That's your body saying, yes, you're in the right place. Even if you're a little off, don't stress. The entire crown area is connected to the same energy pathways, so you'll still benefit. You're not going to miss it by a millimeter. Step 2, hand position, and please do not use your whole palm. I cannot stress this enough. I see this all the time. Some people just slap their head like they're swatting a mosquito or trying to wake themselves up. That's not healing. That's assault. That's not medicine. That's just making noise. The sound is loud, but the force is completely scattered and doesn't penetrate. It bounces off the surface instead of going deep instead. We use what I call the plum blossom position. Take one hand, either hand is fine, whatever feels comfortable, and bring your index, middle, and ring fingers together. Gently curve them, don't hold them stiff and straight like little soldiers. Let the pads of those 3 fingers form a slight arch, like the petals of a flower opening up. Why 3 fingers? The contact area is just right, not too small like 1 finger, which would be too concentrated and sharp, and not too large like your whole palm, which would be too diffuse. It's the Goldilocks zone. It lets the vibration go through the scalp and deep into the tissues beneath. This hand position has been refined over centuries of practice. Each finger plays its part, and together they create the perfect delivery system. Step 3, force. This is the most critical step and the one I worry about the most. This is where most people mess up. Memorize my 8-word rule, like raindrops on a roof: gentle vibration, not impact. Let me show you the wrong way. Thump, thump, thump. That's hammering. That's pounding. That's going to bruise your scalp. And in some cases, it can spike your blood pressure. I once had an older gentleman who thought more force meant better results, more aggressive meant more effective. And he ended up with a headache for 3 days, felt like he'd been hit with a baseball bat. He couldn't even touch his head without wincing. That's not healing, that's creating chaos in your system. That's energy gone haywire. The right way, your plum blossom fingers lightly and rhythmically tapping that point. The force should feel like a gentle spring rain falling on a roof, tap, 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 or like a woodpecker working on a tree drum, 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 not a violent collision, but a steady rhythmic vibration. Listen to the sound. You should hear a light, crisp tack, 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 not a dull, heavy thump. The sound tells you everything and feel it. You want to feel that vibration travel down through your scalp and into your skull, penetrating deeper with each tap that gentle. Spreading sensation is the signal that you've connected to the circuitry beneath. That's the moment when the power turns back on. Step 4, timing and rhythm, 2 minutes a day. 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening can be more powerful than 20 minutes of random tapping done inconsistently. Consistency beats intensity every single time. The rhythm doesn't need to be fast. About 2 taps per s-econd is perfect. 1, 2, 1, 2. Not rushed, not frantic. Sync it with your breath. On the inhale, tap lighter. On the exhale, let the tap be just a little firmer. Let your breath lead the movement. The total daily session, 1 minute. That's it. That's all you need. If it feels really good, you can extend to 2 or 3 minutes, but you honestly don't need more than that. More is not better here. Real healing comes from consistency, not intensity. The best time is right after you wake up in the morning when your yang energy is naturally rising. This is the most powerful time to tap because you're working with your body's natural rhythm, not against it. You're riding the wave instead of fighting it. You'll feel alert and clear without needing a second or third cup of coffee. For the evening session, many people wonder, won't this keep me awake? Isn't this stimulating? Actually, if you use a very light, gentle, almost feathery touch in the evening, it has the opposite effect. It helps draw that yang energy back inward, calming your mind, settling your nervous system, and preparing you for deep, restful sleep. Much better than counting sheep or staring at the ceiling. After your minute of tapping, stop, close your eyes, and just sit with the sensation. Don't jump up right away. Don't check your phone. Just be still for 30 seconds. You'll likely feel a gentle warmth radiating from the top of your head or a mild tingling spreading outward like ripples in a pond. That's a beautiful sign. It means you've moved the energy, unblocked that congested intersection, and gotten the flow moving again. The traffic jam is clearing. This routine costs nothing. It requires no equipment, no special apps, no wearable devices, no subscription fees. You can do it while watching television, waiting in line at the grocery store, sitting in traffic at a red light, or even in your office during a 5-minute break. It's literally always available to you. You don't need to go anywhere or buy anything. And here's where it gets even better. When you turn this simple routine into a daily habit, you'll start to notice that your body is giving you 3 bonus gifts. This is the beauty of a whole body approach. You don't just fix one thing, you help everything. You improve the system, and the system improves every part of itself. It's like buying one item and getting a 3-for-1 deal, better than any department store sale or Black Friday special. You're getting benefits you didn't even sign up for. Bonus gift number 1, better sleep and fewer middle of the night wake-ups. So many people, especially as they get older, lie in bed at night, tossing and turning like a pancake on a griddle, just trying to find a comfortable position. Their mind is racing, their body is restless, and they watch the clock tick away hour after hour. Conventional medicine gives you sleeping pills, which are essentially chemical blunt instruments that force your system to shut down, but it's not natural sleep and you wake up feeling groggy, foggy, and worse than before. It's like being knocked unconscious versus actually resting. In this framework, insomnia is often a sign that your yang energy is refusing to go back inside at night. During the day, your yang energy is outward and active, helping you function and get things done. At night, it needs to fold inward, like the sun setting below the horizon, so your mind can rest and your body can repair. When that yang energy stays outside, your brain stays active like a hamster on a wheel that never stops running. The point on your head is not just an upward gateway, it's also a downward one. It's a two-way street. When you gently tap it before bed, you're giving your nervous system a quiet command. It's dark. Now time to come home, time to rest. The day is over. The yang energy sinks inward, your mind settles, and sleep comes naturally and deeply. Many of my patients tell me they don't even make it through the full minute before their eyelids are getting heavy, and they're fighting to stay awake long enough to finish the session. They fall asleep faster, they stay asleep longer, and they wake up feeling refreshed instead of exhausted, and they sleep through the night with fewer dreams and more restful stillness. Bonus gift number 2, sharper memory and a clearer mind. Honestly, this is one of the biggest fears people have as they get older, and I hear it every single day. Doc, I'm forgetting names. I'm walking into a room and not remembering why I went in there. I'm losing my keys. What if it's dementia? What if I can't recognize my own kids one day? What if I end up like my mother? Even forgetting your keys can send a wave of dread through you, that cold feeling in your stomach. But here's the thing, most of the time, it's not that your brain is broken. It's not that you're losing your mind. It's that your fuel supply is low. The energy isn't getting up there. In this framework, your brain is the sea of marrow, and your kidneys are the source of that marrow. Tapping this point, even though you're on your head, sends a signal along the spine all the way down to your kidneys, stimulating them to produce more of that nourishing energy. It's like pouring water back into a dried up. Well, when your kidneys are stronger, your marrow is fuller. When your marrow is full, your brain, the sea of marrow, has more to draw from. You get more oxygen and nutrients to your brain tissue. My patients tell me they feel less foggy. Their thoughts come quicker. And they remember names and appointments more easily. They feel sharper. They feel more like themselves. It's better than any over-the-counter memory supplement, and it doesn't cost you a dime, no ginkgo biloba, no expensive brain health shakes, just this bonus gift, month or 3, healthier, stronger hair. This one is a big deal for a lot of my patients, especially the women, but plenty of men too. Let's be honest, nobody likes seeing their hair thin out. You're in the shower, you look down at the drain, and you see a clump of hair, and your heart just sinks. That's a feeling I hear about constantly in this framework. There are 2 key principles. Hair is the surplus of blood, and the health of your hair is a reflection of your kidney energy. If your blood can't reach your scalp, or if your kidney energy is too weak to hold on to that blood, your hair will thin, it will weaken, and it will fall out. The roots lose their grip. Tapping this point works on 2 levels. Physically, it stimulates blood flow directly to your scalp, nourishing those tiny hair follicles and helping them grow stronger. It's like watering a plant that's been neglected. Energetically, it stimulates your kidney and liver systems at their root, addressing the deeper cause, not just the surface symptom. When the soil of your scalp is rich and fertile and the roots are well anchored, the trees grow thick and strong. Many of my patients notice their hair loss slows down significantly and their existing hair feels thicker and more resilient. It's not a miracle cure for baldness, but it's a noticeable improvement. I promise you these benefits aren't magic, they're not miracles. They're your body's own natural abilities, finally being given the support they've been missing. We're not adding anything new, we're just removing the blockages and waking up what's already there. You're not importing something from outside, you're just restoring the internal flow. But here's the thing, you can fix the wiring all you want, but if the generator is out of gas, you're still going to have problems. It's the same with your body. You've got the electrical circuit open, the tapping, but you also need fuel. You need raw materials. You can't run a car on empty, and you can't run your body on empty either. And no, that doesn't mean expensive ginseng or exotic herbs that cost a fortune and require a special trip to a specialty store. The real fuel, the real nourishment is probably already in your kitchen or at your local Walmart or neighborhood grocery store. It's ordinary, affordable, and effective. I always say external stimulation plus internal nourishment. That's the winning combination. When you do both, you get lasting results. You're covering all your bases. You're not leaving any gaps. So let me share with you 3 simple, practical recipes I recommend to my patients. I've been using these for years, and they're the ones my patients tell me are the easiest to stick with, the most affordable, and the most effective. They're not complicated. They're not time-consuming. They're everyday foods that you can incorporate into your routine without turning your life upside down. First recipe, your daily sipper. Think of this as your go-to drink throughout the day. Take a few dried white chrysanthemum flowers, about 5 or 6, and a small handful of dried goji berries, about 10 to 15. Put them in your travel mug or thermos, pour in hot water, close the lid, and let it steep for about 10 minutes. You can sip on this all day long at your desk, at home, on your commute, even on the go. It's refreshing and soothing. Why does this work? The chrysanthemum is wonderful for clearing heat, especially when your eyes feel dry or when they water excessively or when you wake up with a lot of crustiness and irritation. It pushes things outward and clears the surface. The goji berries are known to nourish your liver and kidneys, which are the deeper sources of your eye health. One clears, one replenishes. One goes outward, one goes deep together. They're a perfect tag team. It's a simple, gentle, daily support system. Second recipe, your morning power bowl. This one is for my patients who feel that deep fatigue, achy lower back, weak knees, tired just climbing a couple of flights of stairs, dragging themselves through the afternoon. You'll need toasted black sesame seeds and walnut halves. The ratio is roughly 2 parts black sesame to 1 part walnuts. Take them, put them in your blender or food processor, and grind them into a fine powder. Store that powder in an airtight jar in your fridge. ITL, keep for a long time without going bad. Every morning, scoop out 2 tablespoons, mix it with warm water, or stir it into your milk, your oatmeal, your yogurt, or even your morning smoothie, and eat it. It's delicious and incredibly satisfying. Why does this work in this system? Different colors correspond to different organs, and black is the color of the kidneys. Both black sesame and walnuts are deeply nourishing to the kidneys and liver. In the cycle of the body, the kidneys are like the mother of the liver. They support each other in a continuous loop. When you feed the mother, she has more to give to the son. Stronger kidneys mean better liver function, which means better blood supply to your eyes. This is the principle of supplementing the mother to nourish the child. You're treating the root of the problem, not just the branch. Third recipe, your weekend nourishing soup. I recommend making this once or twice a week, maybe on a lazy Sunday afternoon when you have a little extra time. It's a bowl of comfort and nourishment for your whole system. You'll need fresh spinach, about a handful, and about 2 to 3 ounces of fresh pork liver, plus a few slices of fresh ginger to cut any strong taste and add warmth. Bring a pot of water to a boil, add the ginger and the sliced pork liver, let it cook for just a couple of minutes until the liver is cooked through, and then add the spinach, season with a pinch of salt. That's it, 10 minutes. Start to finish, including prep time. Why does this work? The liver is the organ most directly connected to the eyes. It stores the blood that nourishes your vision. Pork liver, being liver itself, is rich in the nutrients that build your own blood, iron, B vitamins, and other key elements. Spinach is a powerhouse of iron and vitamins. And it also helps keep your blood vessels clear and flowing together. They're a powerhouse combination. One builds, the other circulates. A quick important note, pork liver is high in cholesterol, so once or twice a week is plenty. As with anything, more is not always better. Don't overdo it. Be sensible. So now you have your 3-part plan: 1 drink to sip daily, 1 breakfast to start your day strong, and 1 soup to nourish you deeply once or twice a week between the tapping. And these meals, you're supporting your system from every direction, internally and externally. From the top down and the bottom up, you're leaving no stone unturned. We've covered the theory, we've covered the story, we've covered the technique, we've covered the food. Everything you need is right here in front of you. The only piece left is you and your commitment to yourself, your willingness to invest 1 minute twice a day in your own health. I've been practicing medicine for over a decade. And the single most important thing I've learned is that the greatest healer you will ever meet lives inside you. It's not me. It's not your specialist. It's your body's own ability to heal and regulate itself, what I call your built-in physician within. An ancient classic says, yang energy is like the sun in the sky. If it loses its place, your life will be shortened and your health will dim. In other words, the yang energy in your body is as important as the sun is to the earth. Without the sun, nothing grows. Without your yang energy, you can't be truly healthy. The sun rises and sets every day, and your yang energy should do the same, cycle and flow day in and day out in a beautiful, natural rhythm. Aging is a universal truth. We will all get older. There's no changing that, no matter how many creams or supplements or procedures we buy. But we don't have to age poorly. We don't have to run out of energy while we're still young at heart. The message today isn't about some magical fountain of youth. That doesn't exist, and I'd never promise you that. The message is much more powerful than that. The real key to vitality isn't sold in a bottle, and it isn't found on a surgery table. It's already within you. It's hidden in plain sight in the simple, consistent care you give your body every single day. 1 minute, that's all it takes to reconnect with your own body's intelligence. That's all it takes to start turning things around. But folks, I'm going to put on my doctor hat one more time because I need to make sure you do this safely. I know some of you are eager. I know some of you are impatient. I know some of you are the type who thinks more is better and you're going to want to push harder. And I also know some of you might forget these details because life gets busy and you have a million things on your mind. So let me give you the rules of the road. 3 absolutely critical safety warnings. Please write these down in your mind and never break them. Don't let your enthusiasm turn into harm. First, force, I am telling you to vibrate that point, not to assault it. If you turn your scalp red, if you leave a bruise, if you cause yourself pain, if you give yourself a headache, you are not healing, you are harming, you're going backwards. Remember my golden rule. Like raindrops on a roof, light, rhythmic, gentle, penetrating, not violent, not aggressive. If you wouldn't do it to a baby, don't do it to yourself. Second, blood pressure. If you are having a high blood pressure spike, if you are feeling dizzy, lightheaded, or your face is flushed and red and hot, do not tap, do not do it. In that situation, your energy and blood are already rushing upward. Tapping would be like throwing gasoline on a fire. It can make that pressure worse. It can push it over the edge. Let your blood pressure stabilize first. Let your body calm down. Sit quietly for a while. Breathe deeply, take a few minutes. Then when you feel stable and calm, you can tap another time. Don't rush it. Don't take risks with your blood pressure. Third, timing. Do not tap immediately after a heavy meal. Your body is busy sending energy to your stomach and intestines to digest your food. It's working hard down there. If you divert all that energy up to your head, you can end up with indigestion, bloating, heartburn, or discomfort. Give it at least an hour or two after eating. Let your body digest first, and absolutely do not tap if you've been drinking alcohol. This is a hard rule, no exceptions. Alcohol already raises your heart rate, dilates your blood vessels, and affects your circulation. Adding tapping to that mix is a bad idea. Please, please don't risk it. It's not worth it. Keep these 3 rules in mind and you'll be safe. Health is a lifelong journey. It's not a sprint. It's not a race. And there are no shortcuts. The real progress comes from showing up for yourself. Day after day with patience and care. It's about the small, consistent steps that add up over months and years. I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. My hope is that you walk away with something real, something you can actually use to feel better, see clearer, and live with more energy. If you're dealing with any of these concerns, don't stay stuck in frustration. Don't just accept it as inevitable. There's a path forward. This is a place to start. And remember, this is for educational purposes only. Always consult your own doctor before making any changes. If you're dealing with any health concerns, please schedule a visit with your primary care doctor. I'm here to help you understand the science, not replace professional medical advice. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone in your life who could use it, a family member, a friend, a coworker, someone you care about who's been struggling with their vision. Drop a comment below and let me know if you're going to try this routine. I'd love to hear about your journey, your results, your questions. Don't be shy. Until next time, take good care of yourselves. Be well, be kind to your body, and I'll see you in the next one.